Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Formation. You are here with Elle and Natalie, and we're talking all things Austria GP. How are we,
Hello.
Natalie?
We are getting better. We are getting there. Hence for the delay in this week's podcast. If you didn't catch it on the socials, I have had a rough run with some influenza over the past week and
Yeah.
ended up in hospital. But I'm back.
She's back.
Bitches.
She's ready to talk. Use her
Yeah.
voice as much as she can. So we will try and keep it short and sharp for this ep. But yeah, let's just jump straight into it. Austria GP. I personally was a great race to watch and witness, but it was also, I'm sure, great for you to see a Ferrari on the podium again this weekend.
I know, and one really close to the podium as well.
I know. So it was really nice to see the Ferraris performing well on this track. Is it just track specific? I don't know. We can talk about it. But yeah, as we were discussing earlier, there was a few things that happened in this race, but then there was also just a lot of nothing that happened in this race. So we'll just quickly touch on the fact that Carlos Sainz on the formation
Williams were
lap.
cursed.
Another one for Williams to forget, right?
Literally forget. Put it in the suitcase, bury it under the stairs, put it under something else. I don't know. Get rid of it. Like, oh my goodness. And it was just like, it was so, no, it's like not funny, but like,
No,
he
it
couldn't
is.
get going. And then they push started him and it's like, yes, he's going. And then the car just catches on fire. Like, you couldn't write about it. Like,
No.
you couldn't make this up. Like,
I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it because he got push started, but then it stalled again, and then like he tucked around, and then by the time he came into the pit, it was just on fire.
Yeah.
And then he drove so far down the pit as well, so that didn't help anyone because everyone had to go running after him.
Like bad
yeah,
omens all
What a
around.
great start for Williams, and then proceeded to just be an all-round not great race with Alex Albon also DNFing this race. What?
While we're in the trenches,
Well,
while
we're there,
Red Bull Racing,
I don't know about you, but if I was Helmut Marko sitting there at Red Bull's home race, seeing Max get bloody by Kimi, and then also Yuki just dwindling down the bottom,
what?
you'd be shaking your head, wouldn't you?
You'd be doing a lot more than shaking your head. You'd be cursing, you'd be swearing, your arms would be flying. I don't know.
But what was that?
And like, was that actually Max there in Austria, or was that like a body double impersonator? Because that reaction was not very Max Verstappen-esque.
I was concerned for Kimi.
I know. I thought it was
concerned.
George first.
Yeah.
And I'm like, run, George, run.
Could you imagine if it was? Thank goodness it actually was Kimi. Really, really upsetting for him. I'm sure he was like extremely disappointed in himself. Again, I think this was one of those incidences where, earlier in the year, in earlier races, we've been saying, we just keep forgetting that he's a rookie. We keep forgetting he's a rookie. But this one, I was like, no, you need to wear this. Just
sending it where there's no gap. Just like, I'm going to send it and see what happens.
Like, do not take note from Lando from last week, please.
Just going to take the corner 5 cars wide, we'll make it. No, we won't make. No, we won't.
Not making it.
Oh my God. But did you see all the memes about it? People are like, George like secretly whispering to Kimi at the start of the race, take Max out on lap 1. And
yeah. Oh, no.
On the other hand,
go.
People were saying that Max was so nice to Kimi because they're going to be partners next season. Because
swirling around in the ether. Yeah.
All the rumors that Max is going to Mercedes next year. Everyone's like, yep, he's trying to get browning points with the boss, so he's not, beating up Kimi on the side of the track.
So that was an early exit for Max. Obviously not great for Red Bull at their home race. So massive blow for Red Bull. Do
you think Max is out of the
championship? Where's their championship? I don't know.
Well, I think Constructors was out down the toilet a long time ago.
Yeah.
Drivers, you can never discount Max. Like, it's one weekend at the end of the day.
We haven't hit mid-season yet, so let's...
He's probably going to, win on Sunday and we'll be like, Max is back in the championship.
I really don't want him to win on Sunday.
No, me either. We'll get into our predictions later.
I have about 5 drivers that I want to win before Max does.
I've got a podium. I already know what's going on. Like, usually...
You do?
I'm just go my predictions on the fly, but no, for Silverstone, I
Oh,
have my predictions ready,
stay
lined
tuned,
up.
listeners. She's ready to go. So our predictions will definitely hit those off in the end of our ep. So make sure
I've
you
had a lot
stick
of time
around.
this week to just lay and do nothing. Locked in.
Yeah. While we're talking about Red Bull, obviously, challenging weekend for them with Max going out early retirement, but also Yuki Tsunoda just finishing like 2 laps down.
What? What?
Yeah,
What?
yeah. But also, the McLarens they were just rocket ships, I think.
Rapid.
Crazy. Like, I feel like Ferrari was like 30 seconds behind. Mercedes was a minute behind them. So, it was quite across the board. But yeah, with Yuki finishing 2 laps down, team was struggling massively. There's obviously like underlying issues that definitely need addressing because are they even going to be able to regain like the competitive edge? I don't think so.
I know. It's just such a fall from grace. They were
Mm.
so ahead. How do you go from being a minute ahead to just nowhere?
Nowhere to be seen, but who knows?
Nowhere.
Never
And
know.
Max is gonna put the car at the furthest place it can possibly go. And when that is what, seventh? What did he qualify? Seventh? It's not good. It's not looking good.
Not looking good at all. But in good news, and I'm not going to go to it first because I know you're expecting me to go straight to McLaren, but I'm not going there yet.
I know where you're going.
Sauber!
Yeah.
Ooh, double points. How bloody good
I
is that?
know. Finally, and we've been saying we've been waiting to see Gabby's potential. Obviously, he won F2
Yeah.
and then he went straight into a backmarker team. We weren't able to see what he can do behind the wheel.
Yeah.
Finally, we got to see his true potential come through. And
He had such a great race.
it was such a great race for him. And Fernando Alonso is his manager and
I know.
world
The battle at the
champion.
end.
They were battling, wheel to wheel battling. And obviously, Fernando trusts Gabby's ability enough to do that with him.
Yeah.
Back and forth, back and forth. And it just shows like he's such an amazing driver and also really good when it comes to wheel racing. We see some of the veterans make mistakes when it comes to things like that and, so easy to end up in the wall or off the track. And he was just,
I know.
giving it to him, taking it back, giving it to him. It was so good to see.
It was so great. And I just had it was a really enjoyable to watch Gabby that whole race actually.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was just getting better and better. And even when he was hitting and then having to overlap some cars, he was just doing it like flicking them off so easily. And I was just like, wow, this is like what we've been waiting for. And, props to him. He got driver of the day as well.
Deserved it.
Absolutely
deserved
deserved
actually,
it.
yeah.
And his qualifying as well, though, like he had a
It was a
great
great weekend.
he was in Q3. So yeah, starting off 8th next to Max on the grid, he just had a phenomenal race and it was just so nice to see. It was so great that Nico also was up there next to him. And then for the both of them to get both those points. Like that was so cool. I loved watching that. Yes.
Well said. I think you covered it off perfectly. Yeah. Gabby, Nico, I think maybe we're finally starting to see the Audi influence coming down on the team.
Yeah.
And can you imagine?
Oh, I can't. Yeah, you go.
Like, can you imagine next year? So I think, yeah, we're finally seeing the Audi influence and hopefully it's just a sign of what's to come and hopefully that, Audi can pull Sauber out of the trenches and we can see them battling for points more consecutively, which would be awesome.
Absolutely.
And maybe we'll see Nico on the podium.
Get him on the podium.
I know, literally. Our one goal we want for this year.
I think he's had a steady rise since we've mentioned this. So
definitely.
Fingers crossed, all the bits are crossed for Nico.
While we are on the topic of rookies doing extremely well, I know he's not a rookie per se, but the top scoring Red Bull family driver of the weekend, Liam Lawson, way to come back from the bottom.
Right?
Red Bull's home race, just absolutely kicking it out of the park. Not getting, 1 or 2 points, just, 6th.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Watch me go.
Oh my gosh, what a race from Liam.
Yeah. It was so good to see him actually convert his strong qualifying.
Yep.
to 6th place, like, in the
If
race. It was really good on him.
if I could have given, like, another driver of the day, it would have definitely have gone to Liam as well. Liam and, Gabby, both of them, like,
Yeah.
just outstanding. Go Liam.
Was this his personal best?
Personal best ever
Yeah.
career finish in F1.
Yeah. Well done.
And I know it shouldn't be, obviously, because we want them all to do well, but it's like, you feel sorry for Isaac as well, because he's just so used to being that lead driver,
Yeah.
and now it's like, "What happened this weekend, Isaac?"
Yeah. True. That is true. I didn't really have eyes on Isaac this weekend
Mm.
at all,
No.
throughout the whole weekend. But it's good because we want to see that battle between the both of them too. They'll
For sure.
only ever push each other to be better drivers. So,
Yeah.
do we think that this is like a little bit of like Lawson's performance in like it's reflecting his ability to be able to bounce back after like having such a challenging start to the year?
For sure, and, like, we forget as well, he did all his preseason testing in the Red Bull car. Then
Yeah.
he drove the Red Bull car. Like, yes, the V-Carb is the junior team and should be easy to drive, but he didn't have any of the, like, groundwork put in to start the season off on the right foot. He's kind of just been thrown in. So
Yeah.
I think, yeah, it is gonna take them a few races to get their head around everything, how the team
Mm.
works, and learn the new car. So maybe this is just the time he needed, and now we're gonna see more of a competitive Liam Lawson, which, is great. Great for the sport, great for him.
Woo!
Yeah.
Love to see it.
Let's
Well,
go.
shall we have a little quick chat about those McLaren boys?
We shall.
Oh my God, I was
The
off
start of
the seat. I was off the couch every time. I know we could talk about this a lot, but we're not going to sit here and go into the nitty-gritty. But a few things, great battles, great battles. As I said,
great battles.
off my couch. I also have a back injury currently. So it's really uncomfortable for me to stand, but I had to because there was no way that I had to, like, I couldn't sit watching that. I needed to jump through the screen at some point. But yeah, it was really awesome to see. I don't know if, there was a little bit of hesitancy in terms of not wanting what happened last week to happen again when it came to Lando. I think he defended amazingly
Mhm.
against Oscar. I think Oscar let it slip a little bit in that moment where he they were zigzagging and Oscar almost got him but didn't. I think it was a lot maybe in the back of their mind of shit, like we can't hit each other right now.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, the fact that they were able to battle for so many laps was really good. But now you might disagree with me on this one.
I love
And
this.
I honestly, like, fight with myself internally because one week I'm like, "They need to call team orders. This is ridiculous." And then the next minute I'm like, "Let them race." It's so hard because they are both fighting for the championship in the same team, which is
Mhm.
always gonna be tricky.
Yeah.
You're not gonna go as hard as you would go if it was another team.
Mm.
But I don't know why, but the battles don't set me on fire.
Okay.
I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
maybe it is
yeah.
because they're really trying not to crash. They can't go hard. But I
Yeah,
feel
and
like
that's a
even
little bit.
last year we saw so many good Ferrari on track battles with
Yeah.
Carlos and Charles. And those and not because they're Ferrari, I'm not. This isn't me being biased, but like those battles were like millimeter neck and neck in and like just
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
different. I don't know.
I do. I really truly understand where you're
Yeah, okay.
coming from. And I think it comes down to the fact, like, there's different things at play, right?
And the
When it
track,
comes
like maybe it was track specific that there weren't enough slow corners for them to do. I don't know, but I wasn't like on the edge of my seat,
Yeah.
like what is
I
going
would
on.
say that I was more on the edge of my seat for the pure fact of I did not want them to hit each other.
Yeah, no, for sure for
Obviously,
you.
there was that moment where Oscar locked up in the corner, and I'm talking like if you actually watch that back and see how close it was to him, his front wing hitting Lando, it was
Yeah.
like minuscule. So, like, there was a part of me that was mainly just concerned that they were going to hit each other.
Yeah.
But also, I think what comes into it as well is all the drivers are so, like, their styles are so different. So I think
Yeah.
when you're comparing like Lando and Oscar battle compared to a Carlos and Charles battle, not to say that not to say that one's more aggressive than the other, but I would say that the McLaren drivers aren't as aggressive in their style of driving, whereas I would definitely say that like Carlos can be way more aggressive in his style of driving, which is probably why the battle between him and Charles would have been a little bit more, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's just my opinion. I don't know. Yeah.
And I think maybe it does also like come down to a lot that they are from the same team and fighting for a championship. Like if we compare 2021 Lewis and Max, two different teams. There's no papaya rules, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Go for it. Just as long as you finish at the end of the day ahead, like that's literally all they want. And then 2022 had Charles and Max going at it for half the season. They were epic battles,
100%.
But yeah, it probably does also boil down to the fact that they're from the same team. They've got orders they need to obey, basically. So I love the on track. I love the battle. Don't get me wrong, but I just wasn't like.
Yeah. And I also love the battle as well because we've been waiting for it for so long, and we got a glimpse of it around 3 corners last week, and then it turned into a disaster. And then so this week when it was several laps of it.
Yeah, we're finally getting
as a McLaren fan, this is so good. And Lando did have to watch his mirrors. He probably
No, it was great. And that's I don't want to like bring it down. It was great. I was loving it. But yeah, it was just like my little side piece.
Great weekend for McLaren, obviously. The car was a rocket ship.
Yeah.
Things I think could have been done a little bit differently with Oscar's strategy, but that's just me being biased. And yeah, let's see what they've got for Silverstone. I think they're going to be strong around this track as well.
I know. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Who else? Any other teams we're forgetting to talk about? They obviously didn't leave much.
How about your Ferraris?
Yeah, no. Great to see Ferraris battling it out. And, putting the car at the limit of where the car possibly could be.
Yeah.
And like I think both drivers said in their press conferences, they couldn't have got any more out of it. They had no chance of getting the McLarens. I think Charles said if Oscar didn't get him on turn 1, lap 1, he was going to get him regardless. So, it was inevitable almost. But, 3 and 4, I think it's better than what they've been doing. So hopefully it's onwards and upwards.
Love that.
So I think that pretty much sums up the race.
Yeah.
However, before we jump into Silverstone predictions, there are a few rumours swirling around the F1 rumour mill, which I think we should quickly just touch on.
I don't want to.
Valtteri Bottas replacing Franco Colapinto at Alpine. Have you seen that one?
Sake.
Fake news or real news?
Honestly, I hope it's fake news, but for many reasons. For the main reason of, can they just leave a rookie in that seat to just let them do their job or see out half the season? Just please. We've been discussing this a lot this week because our discussion on Jack Doohan and Franco's swap has come about the ether again. So, let's just keep a rookie in their seat. That'll be great. Yeah, I kind of miss Valtteri in a seat.
Yeah.
Can we just leave him until he comes to drive for Cadillac?
Yeah.
He's doing fine. We'll just leave him until then. That's my opinion on it. And yes, I hope it's fake news.
Yes. Okay. Next one. Max Verstappen to Mercedes for 20.
Do you really think though?
Well, if you had have told me Lewis Hamilton was going to Ferrari, I would have said, yeah, when pigs fly. And then what happened? Lewis Hamilton went to Ferrari. So stranger things have happened.
I know. But who would they cut? Obviously it's George.
That's what I can't see. Because I'm like
they're not going to get, they're not.
If it happened, I think they'll do a straight swap. George will go straight to Red Bull and Max will go straight to Mercedes.
Stresses me out.
I know. Can you imagine?
No. I don't want to imagine.
What? Watch this space.
Yeah, watch this space. Again, obviously, this whole conversation was floating around this time last year as well.
Yeah. Silly season. It's going to happen.
Hoto just loving to, get people talking. And I just hope, I hope not. I don't always hope good things for Max. So that could be another reason. But I don't know.
I don't know, but it would be interesting. Like change it up, spice it up a bit.
Love the interest. Love the interest factor.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think were there any other rumors we needed to talk about? Oh, there was like a little rumor, which look, I don't think there's any truth to it, but I will take a crumb if there's a crumb. Daniel Ricciardo replacing Yuki Tsunoda at Red Bull because he's the only other driver that can drive a car set up the same as Max.
I would love to see that.
That would just like put icing on the cake.
I would cry. It'd be a real mixed emotions situation.
Yeah. Come on. Come back, Danny Rick. Come back. Come back. Come back.
Also, I'm just so used to him with the beard now. So I feel like if he came back, he'd have to get rid of the beard.
Yeah. No, just come back for one more race.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well, let's get ready. Silverstone.
Let's. Woo, so exciting. I love Silverstone.
Me too. Me too.
So we'll do our predictions. This one was hard for me, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it was a little bit. Yeah. But
well, I'm going to go first.
You kick off.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, she's ready.
So for the British Grand Prix 2025, I'm going an all British lineup.
I knew it.
All British.
Let's
I also
go.
have a British passport, guys. So it's like my second home race.
Yeah, it is. It's your home race. Yeah.
It's basically my home race.
All right.
So I'm going repeat of 2024, Lewis Hamilton, P1.
Yeah.
At the British Grand Prix. He's also getting pole, by the way.
He's getting pole, okay.
And then he's just sending it and he's coming out on top. Lewis Hamilton. P2, Lando Norris. Yep.
I'm nervous to hear your P3 because I feel like we've got the same predictions.
P3, George Russell. That's what. Do we have the same predictions?
They are my exact predictions.
We're on the same way.
Except the only thing that I have different to you is I put Lando on pole.
Okay.
Instead of Lewis.
Okay. Got it.
He does have the fastest.
Can I just say, if this predictions happens, there's a high possibility that Lando comes out leading the championship over your boy Oscar. So just think about that.
You know, I know. I've definitely thought about it. I've thought very hard about it.
Okay.
But I really am backing the British drivers for this.
Lovely.
So let's see what happens.
Ooh, I'm excited. I'm really excited for this week, and I'll be more lucid and able to watch the race. So it's always a good thing. But no, it'll be a good one.
Silverstone, let's go. Well, thank you again for listening in. Sorry we were late this week, but you're still hearing our voices and you're still listening to our thoughts. So thank you so much for jumping on and giving us a listen. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, do all the things on all the platforms. It's in our bios to all the links. And, thank you again to all our supporters. We do very much appreciate the support. And we'll hear. No, we're not hearing from you. We'll
see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Ciao.